Hello, Poloko. I am sorry to disturb, but I have this burning issue I have got going on, and I could really use some brotherly advice right now. So, me and this girl have been dating for almost 8 months now. Everything was nice in the beginning. We would talk a lot, go out a lot, post each other on a regular basis, and do all the stuff that lovers do. Lately, I have noticed some changes. All these things we used to do are way less now. We barely talk in a day. She doesn't call me anymore unless I do. We don't go out as much, and as petty as it sounds, she doesn't post me anymore. Me knowing the friends she has, I know that something is being said because I am currently unemployed and I can only do so much for her. Like last month on her birthday, I bought her a pair of shoes. I don't think they were appreciated as much. Now she knows my financial situation, so I would assume she understands my position, but apparently I was wrong. Things are changing faster than I can catch up. What would you do, bro? I find this to be very interesting, and thank you for sharing this with me. And in trying to answer you, I'm gonna try to share somewhat of my experience and hoping that it can help you as well. But I want to speak into this idea, particularly focusing on the financial part of your story that you are talking about. When I was younger, I used to think that dating is pointless as a teenager. As a teenager, I don't see any reason why you should be dating because you're not about to get married, and I feel like it's just a waste of your time. Your energy is better directed somewhere else. And then as I grew older, I fell into the trap of wanting to date just because I wasn't a teenager anymore, not realizing that even when I started to date, I still wasn't ready, even though I was 21 years old. I was 21 years old when I had my first girlfriend. I didn't pay attention to the fact that I still wasn't ready. It had nothing to do with how old I was. But of course, as you grow older, you start to have an increased urge for companionship. So you can't really hold it against people. Now, it'll be one thing for me to sit here and say to you, don't get a woman until you are a millionaire. If you're not a millionaire, you don't deserve a woman. But the truth is, you have a longing for companionship. You have a longing to be loved, for that kind of relationship that is intimate between a man and a woman. And so I know that exists whether you have money or not. It's not an urge that only comes to people who have money. And there's so many other things that you mentioned as well. You talked about the friends, you talked about the fact that you don't do the things that you used to do. And it's interesting because it's only been 8 months of this relationship. Now, when it comes to dating, when you're at a point where you don't have the means to be able to do some of these things that you wish you could do, or do some of these things that she wishes you would do for her, a decision has to be made, and it's not an easy decision. A decision has to be made because although you have these urges and this strong desire for companionship, it doesn't help if you're in a position where you cannot manage whatever kind of relationship you go out there and get. Now, you got to understand the dynamics between relationships between people is different. There is somebody who is somewhere out there sitting in a small shack with their wife and kids and they're happy. And then there's someone else who is existing in a different kind of reality where in their reality, that's impossible. No woman will accept that. No woman will stand for that. So I want to ask you, where are you at this point in your life? Where are you? Because you mentioned that things are changing faster than you can catch up. But I'll tell you what's actually happening faster than you realize is the passing of time. And so as much as you feel like you need this person and you want to be with this person, I don't know, maybe she's the prettiest woman you ever been with. Maybe you feel like she's out of your league. Maybe you feel like you don't even deserve to be with her. Maybe things were good in the beginning, but the fact is right now where you are, you feel like you are being compared to someone that you are not. You feel like you are not being appreciated for who you are right now. If you are sending a message that says, I have noticed that things are changing and I don't like the fact that things are changing enough to even ask someone else for some kind of advice, I would wonder, is she doing the same thing? I would wonder, is she in the same position? Does she care that things are changing? Does she care that things are different right now? Does she care that there is a sudden change in your relationship? Does she care about that? I'm willing to assume that she doesn't. I'm willing to assume that wherever she is plotting her exit strategy. Once you get to a point in a relationship, it doesn't matter what kind of relationship, when you are not appreciated anymore, just know, my friend, that you are very close to the end. And so I would say to you right now, what do you think needs to happen at this point? Sure, I could sit here and say to you, end the relationship, walk away so you can go and focus on yourself. But again, I don't want to tell you to do something so that later on you can hate me when you see her married to somebody else and you feel like that could have been you. I don't want you to do that. I want you to be a man and make a decision on your life, because this is your life, and where you are right now, it is a critical point. When a man is at a point where he is saying, I can't seem to make ends meet, I don't have this and I don't have that, and when I took the little that I had and tried to share it with someone else, there was a disdain for it. They didn't appreciate it. That is the worst insult to a man. And so if I was in that kind of position, I would draw back. If I was in that kind of position, let me not just say draw back, I would have walked away. And so the question to you is, knowing your financial situation, knowing where you are right now, do you think that it is wise for you to be in a relationship right now? Do you think that it is wise for you to be trying to build something with someone who is getting their information and getting their influence from other people? Now, I get it. I get it. Because at some point, all that posting stuff, which is very important, but all that posting stuff that you are talking about, I know you think that that's where the true love is expressed, but that's not really what it is. Who cares if she posts you or not? That's not the real problem. The real problem is she's bothered by the things that now she's posting, because the truth is, in the beginning she was happy to just post the lovey-dovey stuff, but now she wants to do better. She wants to show people something different. She wants to say, this is what he did for me, this is what he got me. And I can tell you now, my friend, we've met people like this. We've been in these kinds of relationships. They come and they go. But really right now where you are, you need to be asking yourself, should I be doing this? Should I be putting myself in this kind of position? What is this doing for me? But I'll say to you that if you are in a kind of position, if you are in a kind of relationship where the relationship takes more than it gives, then you need to reconsider where you are right now. Don't let anybody, doesn't matter who it is, don't let anybody convince you that a relationship needs to look like this. And I speak to young people all the time. I speak to young guys. I speak to my peers, and people talk about what is this girlfriend allowance? How much should it be? How much should you give your woman? How much should you give that? And I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. Somebody will look at me and say, "Oh, no wonder you single." Listen, I don't care what you have to say. I don't understand why, as a man, as a young man especially, you have to be taking your hard-earned money and just handing it over to a woman when you should be building. And let me tell you something. If you have a woman in your life who really cares about you, who is in this for the long haul, she knows that you have no business taking what you are working for and giving it to her. She knows, and she would never be comfortable just taking away from you. She would never. She would be more concerned about what it is that you are building for your future family. She would be more concerned about what it is that you are doing for your parents, what it is that you are doing for the people who are closest to you, who need your help. You wouldn't be concerned about whether you can take her on a vacation or whether you can get her that bag or that pair of shoes. If you had a woman who really cared about you and where you're going, if you had a woman who wants to do this life thing with you for the long run, I'm telling you now, you will know it's because she will be more interested in what you are doing, what you are investing towards your future. It's very easy to see when somebody is in it for a quick cash grab. It's very easy. It's very easy for you to be a quick come up, a quick hustle. Don't allow yourself to be that kind of guy. It's okay to say, I'm not in a position where I can do that for you, so I'm happy to just walk away. And so I'll say to you right now, if I was you, in conclusion, if I was you, I would have a conversation. I would have a conversation. I would sit down and I would say, my love, listen, things have changed right now. Things have changed and I can see it. I can feel it. And I know you see it and you feel it too. Being where we are right now, I'm starting to feel like I am not doing enough. I'm starting to feel like I am not enough to satisfy the things that you want out of a relationship. I'm starting to feel like I am not matching up to the kind of man that perhaps you were looking for. So I'm going to give you a chance to tell me exactly what it is that you are looking for in a man. And once and for all, let's make a decision whether I am that man or not. And if I am not, let's just shake hands and part as friends. I don't want to put myself through that. I'm more than happy to walk away. I'm more than happy to go and work on my life. But if you want to stay here, if you want to stay here, I don't have a problem with that, because I still want to be with you, because I am with you because I love you. But if you want to stay here, then I need you to understand that I am in a phase of my life where I am building, where I am creating, where I am investing in my future, where I am trying to figure myself out. So as I try to figure myself out and as I try to figure all these other things out, I'm going to need you to be patient with me. I'm going to need you to be understanding. I will need you to understand that there are certain things that I just cannot do, and I refuse to feel like less of a man just because I can't do that for you. So let's make a decision right now. Will we go our separate ways? Or is this where you want to stay? That's what I would do if I was you. And as for everything else, my friend, listen to me. The only thing that should matter to you right now should be you getting into a better financial situation. You putting yourself in a better position. And I know, listen, women are everywhere. They will keep on coming. Now, whether it is with her or without her, I want you to come to an understanding right now that your biggest responsibility is yourself. It's not her. It's not what she needs. It's you getting into a better position. And I can tell you right now, the best thing that you can do for someone that you love is to get yourself right. The best thing that you can do for someone that you care about, that you want to spend the rest of your life with, is getting yourself into the best possible position to serve them. And until you've done that, I don't really believe that you should be chasing after her needs and what she wants and what she thinks. That's the least of your worries. So with her or without her, you are now your biggest responsibility. Exciting news. Listen, I've got a new book out that is called Stay in Your Comfort Zone, The Mastery of Public Speaking. I know it sounds weird when I tell you to stay in your comfort zone, because you would expect me to tell you to burst out of your comfort zone. But in this case, I am telling you to stay in your comfort zone. That, my friend, is the secret of every single great speaker. It's the fact that they speak from the comfort zone. It's the fact that they can be uniquely themselves. They're not trying to be someone else. They're not trying to be like someone else. And so I want you to get your hands on this book. If you want to improve as a speaker, if you want to upskill, if you want to equip yourself with some information about how it is that you can become an exceptional speaker, Stay in Your Comfort Zone is out right now, and I promise you that this is the book that you have been looking for.
When you change your thoughts, you change your life. This is Thoughts That Count with Poloko.